I've got this friend. I haven't talked to him in quite a while, but he lives in Japan. This guy is super successful. He's got a couple of degrees and he's always working on something new. This guy once showed me the app on his phone that tracks his sleep. And he showed me for the past 2 or 3 years at the time of this conversation, he was averaging 4 hours of sleep per night. This guy is the most driven person I'd ever met. But he had this son. His son was a junior in high school, on the fast track to becoming just like his dad, a great student at a good school. He had to go through his senior year, take his university entrance exams, get some kind of a good degree, and take off on a career just like dad. But then something happened near the end of his junior year. He just suddenly gave up on everything. It wasn't a conscious decision. He just suddenly couldn't literally get out of bed in the morning. His parents would bang on his door, go into his room, try to pull him out of bed, and he would just lay there. I just can't move. I can't get out of bed. And they didn't know what the problem was. He never really talked about it. They took him to see all kinds of doctors and psychiatrists, and nobody was really able to figure out what the issue was. This kid just lost all his motivation. There's a very interesting dichotomy when they study DNA. When it comes to DNA and how DNA actually works, nobody is really sure. The progress they've been making is fantastic, but there's still a whole lot. There's way more than they don't know than what they do know. But one idea is very, very clear. The idea that there's a separateness between nurture and nature, and these are two separate things, is absolutely incorrect. There is a massive overlap between nurture and nature. There's an idea that we have this sometimes called junk DNA, that DNA, they don't know what it's for, but they're starting to suspect that this extra DNA is somehow regulating how the real DNA expresses itself. It somehow figures out what the environment is like, and based on what the environment is like, it controls the DNA to express itself differently in different environments. So there's definitely some interactivity between nurture and nature. One very, very interesting paradox between the way we used to live in hunter-gatherer societies and the way we live today was our interactivity with our environment. There was two necessary things for survival back in the days of hunter-gatherers. One was an externally applied set of absolutely vicious and unforgivingly ruthless constraints. If you didn't get out every day and try to do your best to kill something and eat something, you would starve. If you didn't participate every day in the daily competition with all the other tribal members who were trying to win the daily hunting contest, the daily idea contest, you would sink down to the lower levels, the lower echelons of the hierarchy and be a second-class citizen. Every single breathing moment you had, there was external pressure to present yourself to the world as viciously and successfully and ruthlessly as you could. But inside of this was this deep drive, this deep belief, this deep ambition that says you are going to be a hero someday. You are going to be a rock star someday. You are going to do that one thing that gets everybody's attention, that makes you known for all time, that makes you famous. Everybody has this deep belief. This is a completely irrational belief. Because if you live in an ancient society, there is a Pareto distribution. The bottom 80% are never going to get in the top 20%. This is the vicious truth about evolution. We are programmed with a set of irrational beliefs that say we are going to be great someday. But these are only best expressed within an environment that is ruthlessly constraining us, so we have to continuously push out against the environment or else we'll die. But in modern times, if you take away these external constraints, all you have left over is this idea that you're going to be great someday. But without any external constraints reminding you that you have to get out there every day and put yourself out there every day, this internal ambition, this over-belief in your success, this irrational belief in your impending success can turn into a law of attraction train wreck, where you have this belief that I'm going to be great someday. But because there's no external constraints, you don't have to do anything. You just have to wait till people discover your greatness. This is the problem of the modern human. We have this belief that I am a superhuman, that I am super powerful, that I am super intelligent, that I am super skilled, that I am super gorgeous, and all I have to do is wait for people to recognize who I am. But people spend their entire lives in that trap. They go to self-help seminars, they watch videos on YouTube, they read self-help books, and they keep buying into this fantasy that you are fantastic on the inside, and all you have to do is just express your fantasticness in some ambiguous, easy, risk-free way, and then poof, all of the pussy and money and glory from heaven will rain down upon you. But it's not like that. One thing we didn't need to be back in the days of hunter-gatherers was proactive. Because we didn't need to be proactive, because the world was always forcing us to act. But today, unless you are proactive, unless you look inside yourself and accept this harsh truth that unless you get out there into the world and put yourself out there as ruthlessly, as viciously as you can, nothing is going to change. Now, I don't know about you. I could be wrong. Maybe you're watching this video right now and you're thinking, my life today is perfect. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, if my life is the same, I'll be a happy boy. I'll be a happy girl. If that's true, good for you. But most people would like to be better. Most people would like to improve your life. But it's not going to happen on its own. You need to be proactive. You need to consistently learn skills. You need to consistently practice skills. You can't read a book and download the skills into your brain like in the Matrix. You have to go through the necessary experience of trial and feedback, trial and error, and continuously get better. Unless you're willing to do this, you're going to be stuck on the sidelines, trapped in a law of attraction magic fantasy that's going to keep your life stagnant until you die. So what do? Get out there and practice something. Get out there and practice some skills. Now, according to many economists and evolutionary biologists, the best skill to practice is your persuasion skills, is your language skills, because everything you want in life requires the participation of other people. And the more you can persuade those people to your way of thinking, the more ways you can seduce those people into helping you, the more likely you will achieve a fantastic life. But it requires getting out of your comfort zone just a little bit every single day. You must embrace the daily grind. Just accept the fact that for the rest of your life, if you want to improve yourself, you have to spend half an hour a day doing some kind of boring, frustrating practice that's not in and of itself pleasurable. You need to put in the grind to create a better life. And that's the only real choice that everybody in life has today. You can stay on the sidelines, trapped in that law of attraction, magic bubble, waiting for some fantasy to poof your life into super happiness, or you can get out of your comfort zone and grind forward every day.